Disappointed? Absolutely, man. I think all Vikings fans across the board are disappointed. You know what I mean? What happened, bruh? Like, really, man, seriously, what happened? Kevin O'Connell, Sam Darnold, Brian Flores. We have to ask the questions, man. I mean, what really went down the last 2 weeks of the season? When you're talking about the Lions game with all the marbles on the line, an opportunity for you to get the number one seed, for you to get a bye week, man. You laid an egg. 9 points. 9 points, man. You know, I got to go back and talk about this because it all started right there. You feel me? Sam Darnold, man, I just don't understand. We can talk about Kevin O'Connell and his play calling, and yes, I'll meet y'all in the middle when it comes to, does Kevin O'Connell need to give up his play calling, man? Absolutely. Maybe that is something that can go down that I would be okay with, and I wouldn't fight it. I'm not going to fight back on that if people feel like that. That's cool. But I do think there's a deeper issue because at the end of the day, when you look at these all 22s of these games, man, I mean, the scheme is there. I mean, receivers are open. I think the offensive line really let Sam Darnold down, let KOC down. I mean, we have to build the trenches, man. Shout out my boy SK, man. You know, he went on his rant last night after the game and pretty much said, man, listen, man, the trenches, man, we got to stop ignoring it. We have, like, at this point, man, Minnesota Vikings fans, we have to start pushing the line of this. I know it's not the fun pick. It's not the pick that everybody's going to be jumping out of their chairs. Oh, we got this explosive player. But I'm going to tell you, man, it's going to do us justice because we won't have to be having conversations like we're having now where we know the offensive line let us down, man. They let us down. Sam Darnold, too. I don't understand what happened with Sam Darnold. You know, speaking of our boy Sammy D, we were on board. We were riding. We were supporting. Now, the one thing is this. He just saved us $40 million a year because there is no way that the Minnesota Vikings are going to go to the negotiation table after seeing the last two games. And it's not just any game either. That's the problem. You know, I think if he would have played semi-decent and you could sit back and evaluate the game and say, hey, Sam Darnold still had 250 yards, 2-3 touchdowns. Our defense just couldn't get a stop, you know, and we lost the game. The conversation would be different. But for you to go out there, you have Justin Jefferson, you have Jordan Addison, you have TJ Hawkinson, you have Aaron Jones, Cam Akers, and you can only score 9 points in a game versus the Lions, which their defense was bottom feeders, bro. They're playing with fourth and fifth strings at the time for the number one seed. And then you go against the Rams where they have a bunch of young guys, rookies spread all over the place, you know, guys that are misfits that just couldn't make it on other teams. These are third stringers on any other team. They're out there dominating, and you can't find a way to put up more than 9 points. You score 9 points back to back. That is embarrassing. 27-9 in the playoffs, bounced out, one and done. Something that us Vikings fans have become accustomed to, as far as I'm concerned. You know, it's one of those things where it's like you talk about Kirk Cousins in prime time, and no, I'm still not a fan of it. I don't think Kirk would have took this team any further than what it went. I actually think we would have been worse off with Kirk Cousins, to be honest with you. But you think about him in prime time, and I'm starting to really believe, like, I think it's just more of a Minnesota Vikings thing in prime time. There was something about our playoff game, first of all, having to get moved. And prayers to LA, prayers to all the families out there that's been affected. I hope everything gets back together over there and the nation comes together and helps out LA because they need that, right? But just, it had to be the Vikings game that had to get moved, you feel me, to a whole nother city to play. On top of it having to be the only game that's on Monday night by itself. And it just didn't feel right, man. It didn't sit well with me as a Minnesota Vikings fan. But I still got to ask the question, and I think we're going to be asking this question throughout the offseason is, what happened? Like, what happened? Where was the 14-win football team at? Where did it go? Like, you should have started playing like that at the beginning of the season so we could have just known what it was. The silver lining in all this, though, now that I got that out the way, was ask yourself as a Vikings fan, man, did you really expect this team to make the playoffs this year? Like, if you take the biasness out of it and you take the purple Kool-Aid out of it, you put the purple Kool-Aid down for a second and you sit back and think to yourself, Sam Darnold's our starting quarterback. We're going to win 14 games this season and we're going to make it to the playoffs. Did you really think that was going to happen? I think a lot of us kind of doubted that was going to happen if you're going to really be honest with yourself. So we got to say, man, the Vikings gave us a fun ride, bruh. This season was fun. I do want to say, man, thank you, Sam Darnold, for your services, because I'm going to tell you right now, you had the wool over my eyes for 18 weeks. What a magician. What a magician, man. To be able to fool your boy R.A. Peasy when I was not going to jump on your train. But yet I decided to do it. You feel me? I decided to do it. And you fooled me for 18 weeks. Purple Papa had us jumping on. Shout out Purple Papa and everything you bring to the table for the Vocal Vike channel. We appreciate you during the pep rallies, man, the Friday night lives, everything, man, all the energy you bring. It's not your fault, Papa. You know what I mean? It's not your fault. It's Sam Darnold, man, and the way he crumbled in the two most important games of the season. You couldn't do this in week 10, week 9, week 7, week 6. You had to wait until it mattered, where it's win or go home. KOC, man, we going to have a conversation about that, man. Tonight, we on Purple Parlor. Me and Randy. SK, you got to take a PTO day. He's going to be out sick, so we'll hold it down for him. I know Randy feels different about KOC, man. Listen, the thing is this, and this is not Randy saying this, but like fans that want to fire KOC, bro, just comment under here. Who's going to replace him? Who's better? Which coach are you going to bring in here that's going to win more football games than KOC? And guess what? I'm going to tell you that you're wrong, bro. We have to let KOC just get his troops in order. He didn't ask for Sam Darnold to be his starting quarterback. He didn't ask for Joshua Dobbs last year. Nick Mullins. He didn't ask for Jaron Hall to have to be his quarterback. He asked for Kirk Cousins. He did. He bought into that, but he didn't bring Kirk Cousins here. He inherited that and accepted it. That's cool. But let him get J.J. McCarthy, number 9, man. It's number 9, man. J.J. McCarthy 2025. We have something to look forward to. On top of our team has a ton of money to spend in free agency. We know how Quasey's been showing us how he operates in free agency this year. And I'm going to tell you, if it's any sign of what is to come, this team has a lot of bright stuff to look forward to, man. I'm telling you, particularly offensive line, interior. We have to get us a running back. These running backs, man, hey, great year, Aaron Jones. Great year, Cam Akers. But when you guys get that breakout run, you're getting chased down by defensive tackles, defensive ends, linebackers. That is unacceptable. We need a young, fast running back that can hit home runs. Dalvin Cook-esh. Adrian Peterson-esque. You know what I mean? FTL, but Jahmyr Gibbs-esque. FTF, but Bijan Robinson-esque. I mean, you get what I'm going with this. We need to get younger at the running back position and get a good one, man. One that's dynamic. Drop names in the comments, man, because it's the offseason now for the Minnesota Vikings. So obviously we're going to be having a lot of talks about who the Vikings should get, who we should draft, who we should trade for, who's in free agency that we should go after. And it's going to be fun just based off of we don't have to stress the quarterback position anymore because we got our future quarterback in the building. And I think him sitting out this year is going to benefit. Hey, look, let's just call it for what it is. In a couple weeks, there's only going to be one fan base that's ultimately going to be happy. All right. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the Vikings fan base, me and you. That's cool, though. But, you know, a lot of people are going to suffer this weekend, too. Why? Because somebody has to lose. There's going to be, 4 games on? There's going to be 4 fan bases that are going to be just like us. They made it one step closer, but yet fell short. Let's enjoy this, man. We had a great ride. 14 wins, man. Let's go, man. We can't accept how it ended. But at the end of the day, we can accept the fact that this team made it exciting. And I was talking to Papa Gary, and he said, listen, all in all, Rap, I got to tell you, this season right here was probably one of the top 5 funnest seasons that I've been a part of a Minnesota Vikings fan base. Like, this team was exciting. And I have to agree, man. You know, it's definitely, I haven't been a fan as long as Papa Gary and some of the other OGs in the building. But I got to say, this was probably a top 3 season for me, too, as a Vikings fan. If you look at me being a Vikings fan since 1999, bruh. Shout out to the Minnesota Vikings, man. Drop your feelings down there. Vent down in the comments, man. Let's talk about it. Let's get to it, man. It's going to be popping. Nothing's going to stop. We still popping every week. Make sure you stay tapped in. Holla at your boy.
Yeah. Smooth summer. Who running? I hear them talking, but they ain't gonna do nothing. Celebrate. and I might have a toast with you. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm terrific. We ain't taking no losses, we winning. Undefeated, check the percentage.